We are coming to you in Austin, Texas from the gymnastics studio, and I have some breaking awesome news for you guys tonight. The NCAA gymnastics season is winding down. All day today we had the top 36 teams in the nation competing at 6 different regional sites at the NCAA Regional Championships. And finally, our 2012 NCAA National Qualifiers are now known, so I'm going to give you guys the breaking news on that. We're going to get started today in the Raleigh Regional over in the East. Just like last year, the Florida Gators came into regionals ranked #1 in the country, but unlike last year, they competed like a #1 ranked team, highlighted by a 49.55 vault rotation. They were on fire tonight, led by sophomore Shawnee Dickerson, stepped up with the all-around victory with a 39.65. The Gators won the meet, dominated the competition with a 197.325 team total. And then it was a total battle for second place. Penn State just fell apart on beam, really opened the door. Couldn't come back from that. In the final rotation of the night, NC State, the number 20 ranked team, was in striking distance, but then Ohio State came through in the clutch. They battled the beam demons. They finished on beam, capped off by 3 9/8, one of them from freshman Sarah Grady. And the Ohio State Buckeyes will advance to their first NCAA National Championships since 1990. Now we'll head on up to Champaign, Illinois, where number 2 Oklahoma came out, and they were led by senior Megan Ferguson all the way. Megan was lights out on her 3 events tonight and really led her team. She won the floor with a 9.925, but back to the beginning of the meet, it was a crazy start for the Sooners. Their first gymnast up, Hayden Ward, had an unfortunate season-ending injury on bars, and her team really had to rally together and compete tough. Starting on that bar rotation, they built throughout the meet, posting a 49.45 on floor and then finishing on vault. They secured their place at Nationals, and Ferguson was named NCAA Regional Gymnast of the Year, very well deserved. And then in the second place position, Stanford redeemed themselves and they are back at the National Championships. As you guys remember, they were completely upset by Kent State last year, just fell apart at regionals. So they came back, faced the pressure, handled it very well. They also posted a big 49.4 on bars, redeeming themselves from the Pac-12 championships where they had some mistakes there and missed that Pac-12 team title. And then after Stanford hit bars, they were right neck and neck with Illinois heading into the final rotation, and the pressure was on. They had to finish on beam, but they hit an extremely solid beam rotation. Illinois also hit a great floor rotation led by Amber C, but not enough for them. They will have representation at the National Championships though, as junior Alina Weinstein won the all-around title. Now we'll head on over to Fayetteville, where the pressure was on Arkansas after a rough showing recently at the SEC Championships, but they definitely used the home crowd to their advantage and competed very confident tonight. And Jamie Pisani, the senior SEC Gymnast of the Year, won the all-around title, no surprise there. So the Gymbacks are back at Nationals with a 196.825 team score, but it was not enough to overtake UCLA. The Bruins started out a little bit slow on bars, but built throughout the night every event, finishing with a massive 49.475 on floor, led by a 9.95 for senior Elise Hoffner-Hibbs. Then finished the night on vault with a 49.45, highlighted by a 9.95 stuck cold Yurchenko full from Olympian Samantha Pejic. So the 2010 national champion UCLA Bruins won their regional and will advance back to the national championships with a 197.225 team score. And Boise State finished in 3rd yet again, but we will still see senior comeback queen and AAI award nominee Amy Glass in the all-around at Nationals. And now over to Auburn. Looking at the teams lined up for Auburn, I thought this was going to be the toughest regional out of all 6, and it definitely lived up to my expectations. The 6th ranked Georgia Gym Dogs used its highest road score in 2 years to win and advance with a 197.10. The Gym Dogs competed very solid tonight, led from the start, opening up with a 49.30 on bars. And then continuing on, they posted a big 49.4 on floor, capped off by a huge 9.925 for Noelle Couch. They finished on vault and secured the win, sat in a bye comfortably, knowing that they were back at the NCAA Championships. And then back in the arena, it was crazy. Michigan definitely turned some heads this weekend. They came into Auburn as the number 4 seed and were only 21st nationally. They finished 6th, as you remember, at last year's national championships with the all-around champion Kylie Boderman, but since she graduated, they lost a bunch of seniors. had so many injuries this year, and they have had a rocky season, but they really put it together. They were excellent for the first time this year. It came down to the final event of the night. It was neck and neck between Michigan and Oregon State after Oregon State had some uncharacteristic troubles on beam. Michigan came through with a huge floor rotation, posting a 49.225 and finished with a season best 196.325. Oregon State, it was all on the line, and senior Leslie Mack came through with a clutch beam routine, hit a 9.925 to send her team to their 7th straight NCAA National Championships by 1/8 of a point. Now we'll finish our day in Seattle, where the defending NCAA champion Alabama dealt with tight scoring in their region, but put together a solid performance, ending with a 197.025. They started off on bars with a great 49.35, led by a 9.9 for Ashley Priest and for senior Geraldine Stack-Eaton. Sarah DeMeo then won the beam title with a big, difficult set, and then the Tide finished their night on vault with a 49.325, led by Marissa Gutierrez with a 9.9. And the Tide is looking strong to defend that national title here in a few weeks. Joining Alabama will be fellow SEC team LSU. LSU is back at NCAAs with their stellar freshman class after failing to advance last season. But it was not easy for the Tigers going into the final rotation of the night. LSU and Washington were just a 1/4 of a tenth apart, but they put in a gutsy 49.1 score after their first and missed up fell. The rest of the lineup hit, it was solid, and they ended up edging out Washington, the home team, to get back to nationals. And then the final regional of the night was held at the University of Utah in Salt Lake City. Now the University of Nebraska came in as the top seed, but with the help of the huge home Utah crowd, the Utes topped them tonight for their first qualifying spot, totaling a 196.825. It was a tough scoring region. You could tell the scores were very tight in Salt Lake City tonight. But freshman Georgia DeBritz took the bars title without wearing grips. It just still amazes me. So the Utes will continue their streak. A little fun fact for you guys, they have never missed an NCAA National Championships in the history of the NCAA National Championships. And then joining them will be, of course, Nebraska. The freshman standout and U.S. national team member Jessie DeZiel was on fire yet again. She won tonight's all-around title and helped the Huskers back to the national championships. And despite the Huskers competing fairly tight on beam, they were safe back to nationals, defeating Minnesota by almost 2 points. Minnesota finished in 3rd. All right, now that you know what went down in all 6 of the regionals, we're going to give you a quick recap of your 12 NCAA qualifying teams for 2012. So starting off with the top, coming in at number 1 with a 197.325 are the Florida Gators. Number 2, UCLA with a 197.225. In 3rd, Georgia with a 197.10. We have a tie for 4th, both teams scoring a 197.025, that's Alabama and Oklahoma. And a tie for 6th place between Utah and Arkansas, both teams scored a 196.825. Then in 8th place, we have Stanford back at Nationals with a 196.675. Then coming in 9th, a little bit lower than expected, we have Nebraska with a 196.525. Coming in 10th was Oregon State with a 196.450. Then in 11th, we have Ohio State with a 196.225. Rounding out your top 12 is LSU with a 196.075. So as you guys can see, there were no crazy upsets this year. Your top 12 rankings have shaken up, but all of the top 12 teams have advanced to the national championships. That doesn't usually happen, so congratulations to those guys for getting out safely. Be sure to check out our on-site coverage from both the Champaign Regional and the Salt Lake City Regional. Big thanks to our contributors. We had Kyle, Emily, and Jason out there working hard for you guys, getting behind-the-scenes videos and live updates, tweeting every second of the day. And coming up in just a couple short weeks, Gymnastique will be in Duluth for all the action of the NCAA National Championships. And between now and then, we'll be chatting with top teams to give you guys a preview of what to look for in Duluth. And we'll also be hosting a prediction contest to get you guys at home involved in the action. So congrats to all of our 12 national qualifiers, and we'll see you in Duluth.